Hi everyone, this is a quick introduction to how private music lessons work for credit at Swarthmore, though with some extra modifications due to the unusual circumstances this fall. The most important thing to remember is to ask questions whenever you're unsure about something in the program. It can be a little bit complicated, and the Music 48 guidelines, which you can find on our website, on the music program website under Lessons for Credit, those guidelines have the full comprehensive information that this video is just a brief introductory guide for. And if confusion still reigns after you check out the Music 48 guidelines, please ask us. It's a little bit weird this semester because you can't just drop by our offices, but you can either email music@swarthmore.edu or you can email me directly at ahawes1, and we will do our best to answer your questions. I'd also be happy to Zoom at any point if that would be helpful, just if you want to talk over things once you've reviewed all of this introductory information. Programs to help facilitate music lessons here at the college. The program for beginners is called the STOT Beginners Program, and for more intermediate or advanced musicians, we have the program called Music 48. You're also welcome to take lessons on your own. We can help you find a teacher and give guidance along the way, and you can use the practice rooms in Lang Music Building if you're on campus, but you would just have to pay for those lessons on your own. Now, often people will ask us, am I a beginner or not? I would say odds are if you've taken any kind of regular music lessons in middle or high school, then you're probably no longer considered a beginner. Let's say you may have studied until 9th or 10th grade, then taken a few years off before college, but you were reasonably serious before that point, then Music 48 is still probably the program for you. On the other hand, if maybe you had a few piano lessons when you were a really little kid, like 6 or 7 years old, and you haven't had any lessons since then, well, then you might really be considered a beginner. In any case, it's always a good idea to ask a faculty member if you're not certain which of these programs might be best for you. Okay, so you've decided to take lessons, and you're really considered more of a beginner. You haven't taken lessons since you were a very little kid, or you've never taken lessons at all. Well, then the first thing you should do is enroll in Music 2. This is a class we have called Reading and Making Music, the Basics of Notation, and we offer it every fall. And it's also a really fun class. I've taught it many times, and it's just a great way to develop your musical skills and do that alongside others who are doing it for the first time. We also offer free weekly lessons in either piano or voice as an optional addition to this course through the STOT Beginners program. And then after you finish Music 2, if you'd like to continue studying piano or voice, you can continue being eligible for the STOT Beginners program for one more semester by enrolling in any other music course or by joining the college chorus. And for that, you would just talk with Joe Gregorio, our chorus director, and he can let you know how you go about joining. The STOT Beginners program is not available for academic credit, but of course, you would get credit for whatever class you're linking the program to. If you're a more intermediate or advanced musician, then Music 48 will be the program for you. And I'll give you a basic outline of that program here, and I'll talk about both of how it works in a normal semester when we're all on campus together, and I'll also describe what's been modified for this semester. So here are the basic components. You take 10 weekly 1-hour lessons with your private teacher, and this is a teacher who will help you find. More about that later. Normally, you have to take those 10 lessons during one semester, though this fall we're allowing you to spread out those lessons into the J term as well, so you would need to complete the 10 lessons by the end of J term to get credit for the fall semester of Music 48. It's up to you if you want to do that. You can also just finish them in the fall. We won't be offering Music 48 as an independent course during J term. You're required to complete 10 lessons, and we don't fund more than 10, so 10 is really the golden number of lessons for each unit of Music 48. Everyone is given financial subsidy to make their lessons affordable, and we'll talk more about the mechanics of that in a minute. And everyone in Music 48 earns half an academic credit per semester for as many semesters as they participate in the program. Now, normally you would perform for the faculty at the end of every semester, and it's a great way to celebrate what you've accomplished and for us to hear you play in our beautiful concert hall. But since we're all remote this semester, we're going to do these performances via video submission this year. Also in a normal semester, you'd participate in one of our departmental ensembles directed by a music faculty member. This is a way to give back to the larger musical community and also to practice the really essential skills of musical collaboration. However, given the modified online format of each ensemble this semester, we're going to waive that requirement while our ensembles are online, but we'd still encourage you to participate in an ensemble just to be connected to the larger musical community and to the ensemble that you'll eventually join when you're on campus. The first step to joining the Music 48 program is to register for it, just as you would for any other class during pre-registration or during the add drop period. You can choose to take Music 48 either for half a credit per semester or for 0 credit. So if you've already hit the credit limit, the maximum number of courses the college will allow per semester, then you should choose the 0 credit section. So you just need to take account of which section you're signing up for. Otherwise, you should take it for half a credit. The requirements for both sections are exactly the same. We just want to make it possible for you, regardless of your course load, to still take music lessons and indeed to take ensembles, which operate in the same way. I should add that this is a change in the late summer of 2020. It used to be that Music 48 was like an add-on that you could take in addition to your other courses above the credit limit, but that's no longer true. So please just note that change, that Music 48 has to be included within the courses you have underneath the credit limit. Once you've registered for Music 48, you'll need to submit a video audition. And we're doing this by video this year. Normally you would do this live during the first week of classes, but this will get you able to start in the program a little bit earlier and just make life a lot simpler for everybody rather than trying to do these auditions live this year remotely. So there is a form which will be available on the private lessons webpage of the music program website and also on the orientation Moodle page. You can actually make the video anytime from now until September 1st. You might just want to go ahead and get it over with, have it off your mind. That's fine, but you just need to make sure that you submit it by September 1st. Now, auditions, understandably, often kind of freak people out. And what we want to try to do here is to get away from that and just concentrate on what we're trying to accomplish, which is that we just really want to hear how you play, hear you make music. We wish we could hear you live this semester. That's normally what we could do, but we're hoping, at least through this video, to start to get to know your musical personality a little bit and to get a sense of your accomplishment. What I don't want you to do is to obsess over making this video. Normally you would just have one chance to play for us in a live audition, but since you can make a video, of course, you could re-record it zillions of times. I would encourage you not to do that, maybe a few takes till you feel like it's right and a good representation, but try not to go overboard and worry about it too much. I'd also really encourage you to choose something that you feel very comfortable performing and that you'd be confident with. Don't pick the hardest thing you've ever worked on just because you think it may be impressive. You only want to play or sing something that you really love and that you feel really confident sharing with us. Now, normally on campus, we'd provide you with an accompanist, but since we're doing these auditions virtually, you don't need to have accompaniment. And because so many people audition for the program, there's a 4-minute maximum for what you play for your audition. So it's fine if you just play a 4-minute excerpt from a longer piece. You can just pick a portion that you want to share with us, but just keep in mind that the video should be somewhere between 3 to 4 minutes in length. There's no need for any fancy recording equipment. You can just make a video on your phone or computer. That's totally fine, as long as we can see you and the sound is clear. Don't worry about any fancy technology. Find a teacher. And this works differently for voice students and for instrumental students. So let me just address each in turn. For voice students, we have 3 wonderful voice teachers, Nancy Jansch, Laura Nye, and Clara Rotzok. And Nancy, Laura, and Clara will work together to match students to teachers. They try to accommodate a student's preference for a particular teacher whenever possible, as schedules allow. And so all you need to do is to submit your audition video and one additional form called the voice placement form, which is also available on the private lessons webpage. Once you've done that, they'll be in touch with you to match you with a teacher. For finding an instrumental teacher, it's a good idea to start the process of finding a teacher pretty much right away after you've submitted your audition video. You'll want to make contact with the teacher before the semester starts or very early in the semester so that you can talk with them about lessons and so that they know to expect you and can hopefully make room for you in their schedules. They tend to have very busy schedules, so contacting them early is the best thing to do. We have a list of recommended teachers, and you're free to study with other teachers as well, but just consult with us along the way. We'll provide you with our list of recommended teachers after the audition, and we're really happy to work with you to find the right teacher for you. Okay, so you have registered for Music 48, you've submitted your audition video, and you've made contact with the teacher. Now it's time to submit your Music 48 application. And the application, which is an online form, is necessary because this is such a complex program. You may be wondering, I've already registered, why do I need to apply for this program separately? Well, this is because at this point, after you've submitted your video and made contact with your teacher, and you have all of your teacher's information, and you have the results of your audition, and everything's ready to go, now you apply so that we can get all the information in one place from you about how you are proceeding with your lessons. The reason for this is that there are nearly 100 students at times who participate in this program. There are dozens of different teachers, many different subsidy levels, different lesson rates. It's really complicated. So we need this application form from you so that we can have all the information we need to run the program. This form is generally due at the end of the add drop period. You can find all of the precise deadlines and the application form itself on the Private Lessons webpage. That's going to be your one stop for all Music 48 related information. You have to submit the application on time. There are no exceptions to the timeliness of this form because we face a lot of administrative hurdles getting the program up and running at the beginning of the semester. So just take special note that if you want to have lessons through Music 48, you have to submit this form on time. As I mentioned before, the program provides for 10 lessons over the course of the semester, or in this case, the semester plus J term. That's generally 10 one-hour lessons about once a week. And you'll want to have a conversation with your teacher right up front about their expectations for the lessons, the form that they'll take, and you'll find an agreeable meeting time, and just make sure that you understand your teacher's cancellation policy as well. You'll want to stay in good communication with your teacher throughout the semester. Most lessons this semester will be remote, conducted over Zoom or other video conferencing apps. If you're on campus and your teacher is comfortable coming to campus to teach you, it's possible for you to have lessons in person if a classroom or the concert hall is available so that you can have social distancing and take appropriate safety protocols. However, just please note that most teachers will be teaching remotely this semester. Enjoy your lessons. Be in touch with us if you have any questions or problems along the way, and we hope that your lessons are a really rewarding part of your college experience. And now we've come full circle. At the end of each semester that you participate in Music 48, you'll perform in what is very unfortunately called a jury. We have tried to change the name of this to much more lovely sounding euphemisms over the years. It has never worked, and so the name jury has stuck. But this is really just like your audition at the beginning of the semester, though in this case it's a chance for us to hear the progress that you've made in your lessons. This semester, just like the audition, juries will be done via video submission, and in a more typical semester, they'll be live in the concert hall. Just keep in mind while you're working with your teacher during the semester that you will need some 4-minute excerpt from what you've done in your lessons to perform for the jury video. So you'll want to keep your ears open for what you feel most comfortable playing and what best demonstrates the progress that you've made. Now, of course, money is a big concern, and we want to make these lessons affordable for everyone. So here's how these subsidies work. All students who are accepted into Music 48 receive a $560 subsidy per semester. That is, the department covers 70% of the cost of most lessons. That's assuming an $80 an hour lesson rate. However, if you're on financial aid through Swarthmore College, then you will receive instead an $800 subsidy toward the cost of your lessons. That's 100% of the cost of lessons that are $80 an hour, which is a standard rate. We need to point out that for all of these rates, we suggest a rate of $80 an hour, but some teachers will charge more than that. We show the teacher rates on our list of recommended teachers, but it's also something you'll want to discuss with the teacher. Any amount above these subsidy levels is a responsibility of the student to pay. But if you're concerned about this, we will do our very, very best to find you a great teacher who charges $80 an hour. Please just let us know in case you don't want us to contact the Office of Financial Aid about your status. Otherwise, we'll contact them, keeping all information in strictest confidence to determine who is eligible to receive an $800 subsidy. There are a couple of other ways to receive an $800 subsidy for your lessons. One is to be a formally accepted music major or minor. And in that case, in your junior and senior year, if you're a major or minor for that whole time, then you'll receive an $800 subsidy for each semester that you've participated in Music 48 during your junior and senior year. There's one other type of subsidy called a Freeman Scholarship, which is a special merit-based subsidy, which is available to students who have participated in at least a year of Music 48 at Swarthmore, and who are performing at a very advanced pre-professional sort of level. Just a handful of these students get the Freeman Scholarship each year based on their end-of-the-year jury in May, and it's a scholarship that's awarded for the whole next year. If you're interested in this, you can find full details about it in the Music 48 guidelines. Though you're not required to join an ensemble this semester, I do want to give you a quick sense of what those ensembles are and what one you might normally join, and also just to show you a quick video highlighting each one. So these are the 7 ensembles that currently satisfy the normal ensemble requirement for Music 48 that, as I say, isn't in effect this fall. They are Chinese Music Ensemble, the Chorus, the Gamelan, which is a kind of traditional Indonesian percussion orchestra, the Jazz Ensemble, Orchestra, Taiko, which is a form of Japanese dance and drumming, and the Wind Ensemble. And for many of you, you may automatically know what ensemble you'd be interested in joining or which would best fit your instrument. If you're a singer, you're going to join chorus. If you specialize in jazz, you would join jazz ensemble. If you play erhu or another Chinese traditional instrument, you would join Chinese ensemble. If you play the cello, you would play in the orchestra. But for some instrumentalists, it may be less clear. Let's say you play piano or classical guitar. Usually there are few, if any, spots in the ensembles for those instruments, but you have other options. You might be able to sing in chorus or learn a new instrument in an ensemble like taiko or the Chinese Music Ensemble or gamelan. So if you're uncertain about that, please just be in touch with any of the music faculty members and we'll help to steer you in the right direction. And now let's just watch a few clips of what these ensembles are normally up to when we're all meeting live. And as I say, they'll all be happening in a virtual form. And so it might be a great way for you to start getting involved in our musical community and meet some of the faculty members and the other students who share the same kind of passion for music.